SEO is a scam, and I'm going to prove it to you. Is it a scam for everybody? Obviously not. But it usually is for local businesses. I'm talking about doctors, dentists, dog walkers, and pretty much anyone who meets face to face with somebody who lives in your service area. Take a look at these numbers. Now, these are the numbers from when I was running marketing campaigns for a large advertising law firm where I was the marketing director, where during my time there, we spent about $30 million on advertising and generated about $100 million in revenue. And so these are definitely interesting numbers because they're, boots on the ground. I actually did this stuff and I hope that it can help you. So if you look at the phone books right here, this line right here, in the month of April, we got 44 calls. Now you can see that, over time that goes up and down. And yes, phone books do still work. And we were paying about $20,000 a month to get those 44 calls, which at $500 a call, it sounds crazy. Our customers were worth about $10,000 a piece. So it made sense for us. Most people, that's not the case. And so SEO right here on 22 calls, I was paying $20,000 per month on SEO, which also sounds crazy. Now, personal injury is very competitive, and so that's probably more than you would be paying, but the principle is still true. The cost to get a contact through SEO was significant. PPC, this line right here, again, you can see it's gone up and down over time. But in that month of April, we got 138 calls, which is great. And if you look down here at the bottom, you can see that my spend went anywhere from $30,000 in September to $56,000 in the month before it in August. And so the spend, it's pretty considerable. I think the most I ever spent was $65,000 in a month, which for a local business is crazy. But, like I said, our customers were worth a lot, so it was worth it. Um, Now the thing that's really interesting is if you compare these two, so we got 20,000 for 44 calls, we got another 20,000 for 22 calls, we got $40,000 for 138 calls. So overall, we're looking at a little over 200-ish calls per month for, was that $80,000? The next one, these four rows right here, is Google Ogden, Salt Lake, Provo, St. George. These are the different offices we had. This was 362 calls in the month of April for free, cost $0 to get those calls. Now, it does take work to get those calls, but it was free. And so if you are in a situation where you don't have unlimited time and money like I did at the law firm, and you got to make a decision, don't spend the $80,000 for 200 calls. Go after Google Places, which is, in my situation, it was 362 calls for $0. Now, Google has changed the name over the time, Google Local, Google Places, Google My Business. What it is if you do a search for pizza, they're going to show three paid results. They're going to show a map with a group of businesses, and then they're going to show the organic results underneath that. So by the time that you even get to the organic results, somebody on their phone would have to be scrolling quite a bit just to even see the organic results. Another one of the reasons why I think that SEO is different for local businesses. But that map section is the absolute holy grail for local businesses.
You have chosen wisely.
And you can see that right here. In this section, in the month of April, in the maps area, we got 362 calls for free, cost us $0, whereas we spent $80,000 to get 204 calls with the other methods. And so Google My Business, Google Maps, is the number one thing that local businesses should be focusing on with the search engine optimization. Now, surprise, surprise, it's going to take a lot of effort and it takes time to rank in the Google Maps section, but it also takes a lot of time and effort to rank in the organic results. So it is definitely worth your effort there. Why does everybody think that they need to do SEO? right? I like to call it nephews and neighbors, right? It's your nephew said, "Oh, I do SEO," or I know such and such, or I took a class or whatever. And it's just the people that other business owners are like, "Oh, I hired an SEO agency and I made so much money and it's absolutely insane." Right. And the biggest one is you get agencies that come to your office and they pitch you on hiring them to do your SEO. A lot of people don't even know, what SEO actually means, but that's different story entirely. And so what they do, this is the pitch. They come in, they say, "Well, you don't want to pay for ads forever, do you?" Yes, you do. Yes, you absolutely do. If you are running paid ads, like let's just say, for example, you're in the number one spot organically for SEO, and your paid listing up at the top was those three. If it's working, if it's profitable, why would you ever turn it off? It doesn't make any sense. I can't understand how that logic works for anybody. And so the "you don't want to pay for ads forever" argument just doesn't make any sense. And so what I want to do is do a little math with you. So the average pitch from an agency is, "You don't want to pay for ads forever, do you? We will do your SEO for $1,200 a month, and we'll do a new website for $3,000." That's the typical pitch. I've had that a bazillion times, right? And so with SEO, and the agency is going to tell you this, it's going to be 4 to 6 months before realistically you can expect to see any change in your rankings at all, unless they come and says, "We'll rank you for your name." It's like, well, obviously you could rank for your name in 5 minutes because it's your name and no one in your area has that name, right? And so we're talking about legitimate keywords. It's unlikely that you'll see any serious results from that for 4 to 6 months. And I think just about every SEO person would agree with me on that. So it's going to be about 6 months before you could realistically hold that agency accountable and say, what you're doing does not work. And so let me pull up my calculator here, and we're going to say $1,200 per month times 6 months. So we're looking at $7,200 in fees that you're going to pay that agency for the 6 months, right? Okay. So let's just say, for example, you were to get started on the Google Places, the Google Maps strategy, like I just explained to you, which I could teach you more about in a different video. But let's just say you were to get started on that on your own, right? Like I said, takes time, takes work, totally worth it, but it's going to take time. And you were to take that same $7,200 and put it on Facebook ads in a very specific strategy that I will show you. Because if you've run Facebook ads in the past and you say, "Oh, it doesn't work because I didn't have results," you probably did it wrong. The method that I can show you is a total game changer. So $7,200 you would have paid the agency. Now you're putting on Facebook ads. Now, with Facebook ads, the average CPM is $14. Now, CPM stands for cost per 1,000 impressions. So somebody sees your ad, that's an impression. 1,000 people see your ad. How much does that cost? That's a CPM. So on Facebook, the average CPM is $14. So if we were to take, let me get my calculator. So we take that $7,200, divide it by 14, the CPM, you're looking at 514,000 impressions, which means before you realistically can expect to see almost any results at all from your SEO, you will have already gotten about 514,000 people to see your ads. That's incredible, right? And if you can't get a sale in 514,000 impressions, the problem is probably not the advertising.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Let me prove this to you. So these are some people that we ran ads for. This is Jerry. He owns a mattress company in Florida. Super cool guy. At the beginning of this program, he had 0 leads because he was not running Facebook ads. And within 45 days, we had gotten him 1,126 leads within 45 days, right? That is way less than the 6 months that you would have expected for the SEO to pan out. And if you look over here on the spend, he spent $5,400 on those ads, which means that not only did he spend less, he got the results faster and he got an absolute insane number of leads. Now, I 100% promise you, you're probably not going to get 1,100 leads in 45 days for $5,400. But I mean, he did. So, I mean, it's obviously possible. Let me show you. Johnny is a marriage and family therapist in Arizona. With him, we got him 915 leads in 4 months. He spent $8,900, which is more than $7,200. However, we did it in 4 months instead of 6, and we got 915 leads. So, like I said, is that going to happen for you? Probably not. But I mean, it happened for him, so it's obviously possible. Now, if you're a local business, hiring an agency is probably not going to help you. And you got to trust me, because I've I worked at an agency, I've owned 2 agencies, and I've spent over $1 million hiring agencies to do things that I already knew how to do. And so, like I said, if you're a local business, I'm going to advise you, don't hire an agency. If you're strapped for time and money, don't do SEO. Get started on Google Maps. But like I said before, that's going to take you some time to see results, just like SEO. And then to start running Facebook lead form ads. Don't drive traffic to your website. Facebook lead form ads with the money that you would have spent on SEO. Now, I've actually made the ads for you, so you don't have to stress out about it. This template has gotten thousands of leads for people that I've worked with. It's generated tens of millions of dollars for companies all over the world in just about any industry that you can think of. And I mean, to be completely honest, I'm just shocked that I haven't seen other people using this strategy, because it seems so obvious and it works so great. So click on the link in the description, or just go to 20minuteleads.com and get the ad template for free.